What do you do if your boss won't take responsibility or accountability for anything? Well, that's exactly what this caller is dealing with, and I give him a few tips to manage the situation. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to hear me coach more live callers just like this one. Paris, welcome to the show. How can I help you today?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. So I am dealing with a little bit of a problem. I work in education and I have a manager who is not willing to ever take responsibility for anything. She always finds a way to blame her staff, and no matter what. I mean, if she takes a bite of an apple and someone says, hey, you just took a bite of an apple, she'll find any way to deflect and say, no, it was one of you. I've been having problems trying to figure out how to navigate a workspace with someone like that in charge.
Yeah, that is a very difficult situation when your manager is not willing to take any accountability or responsibility for anything. How many people report to her?
I think she has about maybe 17 or 18 folks on her staff.
And who does she report to? She has a supervisor as well, I'm assuming?
She does.
I'm assuming other people have the same experience. You've talked to coworkers and everyone sort of agrees that this is the way it is?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We've definitely had this chat, and again, it's in education, so it's kind of hard you don't really know who to go to.
Does anyone have a relationship with her, like a friendly relationship?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us do, but, it's not hostile. It's just something that we notice.
Okay, so if it's not hostile, and is it possible for you or someone who has a friendly relationship to like maybe grab a coffee with her or something and sit down with her and just say, hey, there's times in which things happen and we would love to, give you some feedback or let you know something's going on that we found that was difficult. I'm just seeing a pattern. I'm noticing a pattern that it's really, really tough for you to hear anything that feels like I'm criticizing you, even if I'm not criticizing you, or it's really hard for you to take responsibility for something. And I'll give you an example. And here's 2 examples of when this happened. Is it possible to have a conversation like that where it's not like you're trying to get her to take responsibility for something? You're just telling her about the overall experience of working for her. Do you think that would be possible?
Yeah, I think, it's definitely one solution.
At least worth trying. Has anyone tried something like that before?
Well, no, I haven't. So I'm not sure if anyone else has. Maybe, again, I should take the lead.
The organization doesn't do any sort of 360 review or leadership feedback review or anything like that, right?
They do.
Oh, they do?
A lot of times it doesn't matter.
They ask you how it is working for her and you say, you give a report or a survey or something and it just has no effect.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Super frustrating. So
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So step 1, if you're willing to grab a coffee with her and tell her about as positive as you can. I mean, you could start out with some positives. You could start out by saying anything that you can find valuable or positive about the relationship. Hey, I enjoy working for you. You're really knowledgeable. I think we all learn a lot from you. Whatever the positive is that's true and authentic, if you could start out with that. And then you say, here's a challenge that I'm having, or here's a way that I think, we could all improve in our relationships. Sometimes I'm noticing that you're not taking responsibility. I don't want that to sound like a criticism because it's not what this is, but I just want to let you know that that's how I'm experiencing. That's how it's coming off. And here's a couple of examples. If you have that conversation and it still doesn't go anywhere, or she gets defensive or something like that, and you notice that this is not going to change, then at some point, at the end of the day, we have to make a cost benefit analysis. Like, is it worth staying in this job under the current conditions because you love it, because the pay is good, because whatever the benefits are? Is it worth it? Do the benefits outweigh the costs? Or do you think that you could get the same benefits somewhere else without paying the cost of having to work for someone who doesn't take responsibility? So that would be, I think, a next step decision if the conversation doesn't go well or if it doesn't have any effect.
Okay. Yeah, the next step is the scary step, but it's a necessary one.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're unhappy with a certain circumstance and nothing's changing, and you've tried everything you could think of to change it, you could level skip and go to her boss, or you could go to HR and tell them or something like that. I don't know what kind of effects that would have, but that could be a step as well. I would always suggest starting with a conversation directly with her, trying to keep it as positive and solution focused as possible. Don't make her bad or wrong. Just let her know what you're experiencing, how it's impacting you, and, maybe some suggestions as to how you would like to see it improve in the future, and then see how that goes.
Okay.
All right.
It sounds amazing.
All right. Well, hopefully it turns out amazing. And hopefully it doesn't, you don't have to go down the route of weighing costs and benefits. But good luck. I hope the conversation goes okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Paris. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Peacebuilding with Dr. Pollack show. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more workplace conflict advice. Share on social media if you think your friends and colleagues would benefit from this episode. And if you have a workplace conflict and want to be a caller on our show for free coaching and advice, please email podcast@pollackpeacebuilding.com. Thanks.